Sandra, welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things sexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we're going along. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. Asexuality is a sexual orientation that is the lack of sexual attraction. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Well, I've got a really good episode tonight for you. As always, I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. You might have watched my video yesterday, which was a very emotional video because I had to set up with my boyfriend. That was very difficult for me. But today he actually did something good and he gave me closure by admitting that he no longer loves me. And he told me the reason why. I'm not going to go into the reason why because I don't think it's appropriate. But just to say that me and him have very different perspectives on quite a lot of that reason, and coming from different angles. So yeah, I wished he'd have told me before in a way, but you know, I've ended it and he's finally said, no, I don't love you anymore. How a person can just like love someone 1 minute and the next minute not, I don't still really get that. It's not what really happens mostly, is it? You know, you don't just stop loving someone just like that if it's true love. But anyway, it is what it is. He doesn't love me anymore, so that's fine. So he did say he still wants to be friends and maybe get back together in the future. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm moving on with my life now. I told him that, you know, I'm not going to reserve myself for him. I'm moving on. You know, I'm going to get myself a good guy for me who loves me and appreciates me basically and wants to spend time with me and see me, you know. So that's it, you know, at the end of the day. I mean, if you watch these videos, you already know that I gave him a second chance from the beginning. So, you know, I think I've been more than fair in that respect. And it's time for me to move on. He doesn't love me anymore. So that's good. So I was really, really happy. I was really impressed that he did actually tell me that finally. It's a shame I had to guess it myself, but at least my intuition was correct. At least I was right. And I've finally got the answer is no, he doesn't love me anymore. And that means I can just move on now. So that gives me closure. It means I can close that door. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I know he doesn't love me. I can move on. I don't have to feel guilty or bad about talking to other guys whenever I want. And dating again, because at the end of the day, he's not interested. He's not, you know, he's not bothered like that anymore. Doesn't love me. So it doesn't matter if I go straight on back to the asexual dating app, back to the asexual dating sites, and start looking for a guy again because he's not interested in me like that. So that's fine, isn't it? You know, normally I'd say, well, it's going to be difficult, you know, but I've got that clarity now, you know, that he definitely doesn't love me anymore. That's it, you know, doesn't want to be in a relationship with me anymore. He's collecting his stuff on Sunday from my place, way outside. So yeah, that'll be it. It'll all be done and dusted. So yeah, I can move on even more. So I updated my profiles obviously on asexual dating sites and the Ace app to say that I was single again, but I now realise it's possible for me to be with a British guy, younger British guy in his early 20s, or to again be with a foreign guy. Foreign guys I could tend to go a bit higher in age, you know, like higher up in age, like late 20s, early 30s. But if it's British guy, it's really got to be early to mid 20s because and again, I don't know if I could do that with loads of British guys because that last guy was kind of like different to what I'd usually get attracted to. But hey, I can be attracted to one British guy. I'm sure I can be attracted to others. It just opens up the field of a lot more asexuals. You know, there might be some cute British guys that I have overlooked in the past because I wasn't really thinking I would be attracted to them at all. But now I can start to look at that, can't I, and like stop wasting time. So anyway, I went on ASAP and I was talking to some guys before I met my boyfriend, and I told them obviously I was in a relationship because when I'm in a relationship with someone, that's it, you know. I stop communication with the obviously I'll still keep my friends, but you know, guys that are interested in having a relationship with you potentially, I just say, you know, I've got a boyfriend now, that's it, end of story, right? And so I'm hugely faithful in that way. That's what I believe. I believe when you're in a relationship, that's it. You know, you're faithful while you're in the relationship. You're not going around chatting other people up and trying to get into a relationship with someone else. And so, you know, I just literally put that I was in a happy sex-free relationship, and that, you know, I'm only here to help other asexuals basically, and to keep contact with friends, because I have got some friends on the asexual dating sites and app, and obviously I do a lot of work for asexuals, so I'm kind of needed there anyway. And so anyway, so today I went on ASAP again, and I thought, I'll speak to the guys I was speaking to before. Why not? Because I was having conversations. The only reason they stopped is because I said I had a boyfriend, and they're really, respectful, nice guys will just stop talking to you if that happens. They won't carry on the conversation when they know you're with someone, right? So basically, what did I do? Yeah. What I said was the relationship didn't, to one guy on ASAP, the relationship, I'm just reading it out, the relationship didn't work out, but now I know it's possible for me to be attracted to a British guy, so at least I have learned that lesson, a younger British guy. So yeah, I've learned that lesson. It's good, isn't it? And this guy, I love what he puts, because it's actually so true about me. He goes, I may only be 27, but I think your music tastes involve too much energy for my placid style. Laugh out loud. I imagine you raving a lot. That needs some useful balance. Ha ha. And I think that's so true. The thing is with me, I'm too young, really. I'm too young for a lot of guys, even in their early 20s. Like the last guy I was with, the boyfriend I've just dealt with, like he used to go home tired because I've got too much energy for him. I'm too high octane energy. But I mean, when I say I'm too high octane energy, I'm obviously not too high octane energy, because I'm just being me. And life is about being energetic, vibrant, and bubbly. And that's how I like to be. It's just who I am. So I need a guy who really appreciates that. But, I already said to him in the beginning, if he took notice, that, like I actually like living separately, so that he could go back to his own place and to recover from seeing me being high octane energy. I don't know if he actually took that in, because he started saying about living together, which, from watching this channel, if you've seen me before, that I never want to live with a guy. I was like, like once to two times a week would usually be maximum at the moment that I could fit the guy in, because obviously I'm busy doing all business stuff and that. So, and I did actually see him for about 3 days, 2.5. So that was quite a lot for me. But yeah, so I actually said that to him, like ideally, I'd like my guy to live around the corner from me. And then, he can go back to his place, do whatever he wants to do, chill out, because I am high octane energy, but I love being that way. I'm not going to change my personality for anyone. And I don't, it's very hard for me to share a bed with someone. And I do like sleeping at, working through night and sleeping at 4 in the morning. That's when it really suits me. And so I just thought that was so good of this guy to say that. He told me the truth, obviously. And it's true, because like the guy I just split out with, like he used to go back home and he's quite tired, because I've just got so much energy. But that's good, because I have fibromyalgia. And if you don't know, fibromyalgia is a chronic pain condition that affects the nerves and muscles of the body. And people usually have hardly any energy. They're bedridden, they can be on crutches or in a wheelchair, they can be like have lack of energy. One minute they've got energy, the next minute they're not, and they can't sustain that energy, and it can be a very, very depleting life and very upsetting life for them. I have developed this really awesome 21st mindset, living like a teenager lifestyle, and I really like try and do everything I can to make myself happy. I'm like, I hate washing up, so I'm not really doing I don't really do washing up and stuff. Housework is not really my thing, but I even cooked for this guy on Sunday. That I don't do that. I don't usually cook for a guy ever. That's like breaking a golden rule, isn't it, Ma? Like, he can cook himself. I did actually cook. I'm not saying he liked the food that much, but I could still, actually, it's a huge deal for me, as you know. So I am high octane energy, and I'm not going to apologize for being that way, because I love being that way, because there are people that have got fibro and they're so less fortunate than me that they don't have all this energy, and I can help people get energy. I'm very good at the foods I eat. I eat a lot of, for example, spinach and broccoli. It's like green vegetables, and that, that produces a lot of good vitamins. I eat regularly, like every 2 hours usually as well, and health bars and stuff. So, and I just love life, and I love being me, and I love my life, and you can tell I'm really happy now, because I've had closure, that that I've been able to, like, later on towards this evening, move on a bit in my life now. I'm not upset like I was before. I think him collecting his stuff's going to be a bit upsetting for me naturally, but yeah, it's good, it's all good. I can rest assured that it doesn't matter what guys I talk to, he don't give a toss, because he's not interested in me like that anymore. Do you know what I mean? So it's all fine. And anyway, going back to what this guy said, this 27-year-old, because I think other stuff's important too. is this is really like typical of my situation. In a way, it's a bit of a shame that you are ace, in other words, asexual. If you were allo, in other words, heterosexual, I could find you about 50 eligible sex mad bachelors that I'm friends with, laugh out loud. And obviously, as he's 27, all of them is mates is going to be probably around the same age in his 20s. And that's my problem, you know. I can easily get a sexual guy for a relationship in his early mid 20s or whatever. I can get a foreign guy in it just like that, which you know I like foreign guy. You know, so that's not the problem. The problem is getting an asexual guy and someone that can live without sex and still love all the kissing and cuddling like I do. I mean, I adore kissing. Like, some people are sex addicts, right? Obviously, I'm not a sex addict. I'm asexual, but I'm like a kissing addict. I love it so much, like a hobby to do daily. It's just great. It's just, I think it's like a dopamine hit. It's really fun. And you know, I need someone to do that with, really. Otherwise, you know, I may as well stay single and I just kiss myself for a bit. Why not? So yeah, so yeah, I did say I tend to attract the older souls as well, who are young guys for balance, but still far younger. I like to sleep at 4 a.m. too. So I put, oh yeah, in his response to about, you know, the sexual guys, you know, you could get me about 50 sex mad ones. I'm like, I'm sure you could. I put, I know if I was heterosexual, I could easily get get a hot younger foreign guy, which is my preference, or a British guy, but I'm a very passionate girl with kissing but clothes on and hate sex. So I'm often too sexual in behaviour for most asexual guys and not sexual enough for sexuals, especially as I don't like nudity. So yeah, that's a really huge problem for me. You know, it's ongoing. I mean, to me, it's kind of crazy. I am an asexual person who experiences high level of arousal but zero sexual attraction. And I think, like, if you're watching this now and you don't understand that arousal and sexual attraction are two completely different things, then it's like, you know, what's the difference? Like, arousal is the sensation in your body that you feel aroused, that you know, but you still, you know, but you still don't think about having sex. Where, you know, like, it's more of a genital or stimuli response, or more of a body part response that feels like exciting and enticing. But if you're having sexual attraction, you get the need, urge, or want for partner sexual intercourse. So when you're kissing or doing something, you'd want the sex. That's what sexual attraction is. So arousal is like the feeling in your body, which doesn't necessarily, I mean, obviously with heterosexuals, the arousal and sexual attraction usually go together, but with asexuals you can have arousal as a separate thing because it's like a body natural response to stimuli, whether that be mental or physical, you know, or even verbal maybe. You know, it's a response to stimuli, whereas the sexual attraction is the need, urge, want for partner sexual intercourse. You like look at someone going, I want sex with you, you know, rah, 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 do you know what I mean? Which I don't get. So this video is all about how do you move on from a relationship. Like, if you've got closure, obviously, like I'm telling you about in this video, I have closure now that the guy doesn't love me anymore, then you can more easily move on because they've told you they don't want to be with you. They've told you they don't love you anymore. So there's none of this, what if he didn't want to split up with me? What if he really did love me and I got it wrong? What if? So if you can get the person to tell you just in a nice, calm manner why they didn't love you, or why they stopped caring about you, why they changed their behavior, if you can try and have an adult, like, really gentle conversation about that so they feel comfortable enough to tell you, then obviously that's going to really help you. But sometimes you're not going to get any closure and you're going to just have to accept the fact that you've made the right decision for you, because at the end of the day, if you felt good in the relationship, you wouldn't have ended it. Like, I ended that relationship because although I was thinking they're not happy, I wasn't happy, and I tried to tell the person and they were unresponsive. So, you know, I have to leave. For me, I can't stay in a relationship where it's making me anxious, nervous, unhappy, and I can't, you know, there's no resolve. The person's not going to help me resolve the issue with them in the relationship. You know, you can't have a relationship with someone that's one-sided, that you're just trying to resolve stuff on your own. It doesn't work. There's two people, right? So once one person has potentially, like, theoretically left the relationship before they've even actually left it, you've got to fly the nest, right? So, you know, and once you've made a decision to move on, and especially if you have closure from the other person that, yeah, they've moved on already with their life, then it gives you a lot more freedom. You think, you know, like I'm thinking now, the person doesn't love me. So I don't need to invest any time, energy, or effort into them anymore. I don't need to be thinking about them anymore. I don't need to be worried about them anymore. You know, if they get another girlfriend, they get another girlfriend, you know, because they told me they don't love me. So they're going to be looking around for someone else, aren't they? You know, and so it just is what it is. And because I have that closure now, it's great. But like, I have been in relationships in the past where I haven't had closure, but I've still decided usually to end it. Majority of relationships that I've been in, I've usually actually probably all of them, I've actually ended. And you know, and you just gotta like think that that person's never right for you in the first place, because if they were, they would still be with you and they would be still making you happy and content and feeling great and awesome in the relationship. But if they're not doing that for you anymore, for whatever reason it is, you got out for a reason. So you need to stay out of it. There's thousands of people around the globe. I know it's hard when you're asexual. It's really difficult. And it is harder to get an asexual match because like everyone has different needs. Like I was saying in that message, like I'm too sexual in behavior for a lot of asexuals, the way I like to kiss. I admit it, you know, I admit that I like to kiss passion. I like having passion without sex. That's what I do. I love it. But you know, and actually being in that relationship, I think I'm even more passionate than I probably thought I was without sex. So that's been quite a revelation for me as well. But only if I'm really comfortable physically with the person. Like, I can't be with a heterosexual, you know, that wants sex because I just wouldn't feel comfortable being intimate. I'd want to just like run away, I think, or stay clear of that type of thing because you know it takes a hell of a lot of trust to have passion without sex. A hell of a lot of trust. Very, very, very. So I did trust the guy a lot actually in that respect. So that was nice. But yeah, but like, you know, you can move on, but you have to remember that even if you haven't got closure from them as to why their behavior changed, as to what happened, you can still move on because you have decided it's not right for you. And you made that decision for a reason. Going back with them, you know, you wouldn't be happy because that problem would still be there. You'd know that you can't talk to them. So, for example, I'd know that I could never speak to that person. If I said something that they didn't like, instead of them sharing their feelings with me and me sharing them and working it out, they would respond the same way, you know, and for them to change from loving to me to not loving me very quickly. I don't want a guy who's unstable like that, who's not, you know, who's chopping and changing his mind all the time. You know, like 1 minute love you, next minute don't. I don't want a guy like that. No one wants a person like that. Like if you're a guy watching this, you don't want a woman like that 1 minute loves you, the next minute she says she doesn't. Do you see what I mean? For whatever circumstances, I'm not going into the circumstances. I'm not apportioning blame or anything. I'm just saying like it is, you know, that you know you know I don't want a person where I can't trust them. I don't want to be thinking every 5 minutes, oh well, are they going to decide they don't love me again because I've said something they don't like? That's not love, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not love. You know what I mean? There's bound to be things that come up in a relationship that not each of the person's going to like, and you have to work it out together. That's the whole point of a relationship. Otherwise, you may as well stay single. And so it's really important that when you are, you know, like getting over someone, is that, you know, you think of the reasons why you left them and why they were no good for you. That should give you really good strength. And just think, you know, if you've been in that situation again, you still be feeling that bad way, you still be having bad anxiety or feeling really upset and in pain and hurt. And, you know, you've set yourself free if you're the one who's done the splitting up. If they split up, I mean, just think you're lucky stars that they've set you free, you know, because you're free now to find a person that will appreciate you and love you and for who you are, and that will want to spend time with you and want to care about you because they'll think you're the most precious person in the world to them, which is what you're meant to do if you're in a relationship, right? You should think that they're the most precious person to you and that you value them, you know, not that, oh, it's like, you know, if I spend a weekend with my partner, it's like he should be thinking, God, that's really nice of her. She's a busy girl, she's got loads of work on, and she's taking that time out to spend with me. Wow, that's really nice of her, you know, appreciation, and vice versa. When they're taking time out, you know, when they could be doing other things with their weekend, they're seeing me. It's all about thank you, really, really nice, you know what I mean? So it's really important that you get someone who appreciates you. You know, everyone has someone, I believe, out there for them. Everyone has a person that is right for them, you know, somewhere in the world. And, you know, you will find the right person for you eventually. You know, I'll find the right person for me eventually. In the meantime, I'll stay happily single because it's just like I know how to look after myself, don't I? I know how to make myself happy. I never get bored of myself because I'm high octane energy and I just love my life so much, you know. I really do love my life. You know, I love my flat, you know, I love vlogging on here. I'm building a new website at the moment that's very different to asexuality. It's actually to do with passion without sex, if you really want to know. But sexuals will probably want sex at the end of it. So yeah, it's a very kind of like a bit different to asexual stuff. But some people in the asexual spectrum that are more sexual might like my new business stuff that I'm doing. You know, I just want to expand out a bit now and do different things. So yeah, I'm doing book work at the moment as well. So, you know, like I've got loads of stuff that, you know, like when you're getting over a relationship, obviously talk to your friends. They're really good comfort. I've had really lots of lovely private messages from my friends. I've had some nice comments about, you know, the fact I decided, you know, it wasn't working out and decided to be single. I've had some beautiful comments. One of my friends said, don't settle, you know, the right person's out there for you. So that was really sweet of them. Another person said about life lessons. I'm like, yeah, I've learned some stuff. And you know, and people have just been like, you know, sending me private messages, really caring about me and making sure I'm all right, because they know that, you know, they think it's a shame because I'm such a lovely person and really high quality person, which is nice. And I deserve a really good guy who recognizes that and who, you know, who really values me, which is really nice, you know. And you know, when you're like split up with someone, you go through all these doubts and feeling, you know, like upset and stuff, and just to have friends there for you, just really caring about you, you know. And these friends were the same friends that I had that were happy for me to be in a relationship with him, you know. True friends, really good friends, they'll be there to be happy for you when you get into a relationship, whether they agree with the person or not with you in the relationship, and they'll be there for you afterwards if you split up, you know. That's what true friends are there for. They're there to be impartial people in who you are within a relationship, but still be there when the shit hits the fan, if you know what I mean. So I've had some, like, I've been very fortunate to have a lot of company, you know, like via messenger, just to, like, you know, like make me feel a bit better about the situation, you know, because it was hurtful for me and painful. It's bound to be, you know, when someone goes, oh, I really, really love you, and then that's all gone all of a sudden. It's very difficult. But everything happens for a reason. I gave that person a second chance in the first place, which, you know, I don't ever usually do. And why do I advise never to give someone a second chance? Because you can't trust them usually. Once they've broken your trust in the first place, it's very hard to ever totally trust them again. You know, the only way you can really have a happy relationship usually going forward is if the trust is built in the first instance and kept going and maintained, and like all the like cards are on the table, right? You know, everything's out in the open. So, you know, I mean, I did trust that person a lot. You know, I did think they did show a lot of trustworthy stuff, you know. So I was glad I gave them a second chance, even though maybe I shouldn't, because I'm in the position I'm in now. And if I hadn't given them a second chance, I wouldn't have been breaking up, because I wouldn't have been with them in the first place. But yeah, I had some good experiences. But yeah, you know, I can move on because that person, you know, really doesn't love me anymore. You know, and I can find someone who does. And I love myself. That's a really good thing. I mean, I can date myself. I've got more time to myself again now, you know, more time for me, more time for my work. I've got, you know, my bed to myself back again, which is incredible, because I can't really sleep next to a guy. It's very difficult for me. I can be up till 4 again in the morning. So yeah, when you've broken up with someone, how to get over a relationship is you think of all the really positive things in your life, you know, like all the positive stuff that you can do again, all the things that you loved before that person came into your life that you can love again, you know. Like I can be up till 4 in the morning and no one's staying in my bed and I have to worry about making a noise in front of them or staying up late, you know. I can get more work done, and you know, all the productive things that you can do with your life, you know, like more time for your hobbies and interests, more time to self-date, which is so important for the soul. So you just have to think of all the time you're getting back, and you're not investing in someone who no longer wants to invest in you. I think that's a really important thing. You know, when you end a relationship, you know it's over, and you know that person's no longer investing in you. You know, they're no longer loving you. They're no longer putting that time, energy, and effort into really making sure that you're happy with them and that they want to be with you and appreciating, when that's gone, there's no need to hanker after stuff that's gone because it's dead in the water. And you have to think, that's gone now, it's the past, I'm moving on. There's thousands of people out there. I mean, there's thousands of asexuals. We all know on asexuality.org, for example, which is the biggest online community for asexuals. There's over 60,000 people. Some of them aren't asexual, though. They're friends. They're sexual friends that want to know more about asexuality. But that's a lot of people, and obviously there's an asexual dating app. I was talking to this other guy that I messaged before I was with my boyfriend. And then, but he's not really my type. I don't think. He's a bit older than, well, quite a lot older than I'd usually go for. Had a good conversation with him. He's quite an intelligent guy. Ex-dance instructor. Really, really intelligent person. But yeah, I think different boundaries in relationships. Like he likes massaging his friends and stuff. To me, that's like, as a romantic asexual person, I don't think I could be with someone. He used to be a massager though, so I kind of understand it for a job, but now he still does that with his friends. Because I said, do you do it with friends or just in, like, you're exclusively in a relationship? And he said he does that with his friends as well. Now, some asexuals would be fine with that, they don't care what other people do. And some asexuals like share beds with their friends. Some asexuals do tons of stuff that me as a romantic asexual wouldn't dream of doing, especially in a romantic relationship. There's boundaries, but I wasn't really comfortable about that idea. I did tell him, I said, I'm looking for someone who's got different the same boundaries as me, really. I think it's important that when you're looking, that when you do split up with someone, you're not just jumping into another relationship. Like, I don't want to just jump into another relationship. It's just nice to have these people to talk to who were interested in me before, who are still kind of interested in me now. It gives me a bit, of a confidence boost. Makes me feel happy that they're even, they're talking to me, and it's nice to know that I've got options again, isn't it? Because obviously when you're in an exclusive relationship, you kind of like, if you're a faithful, good person, you'll be telling other people, like, I'm with someone now, like, that's it, dedicated to that person and not interested in other people in that way. But when you're free and to move on, like, you don't have to. I don't suggest jumping straight into a relationship, because that's not going to be healthy. I love the asexual meetup picture on your profile. It looks like family friend and looks a good Christmas present. Oh, the asexual. Hi, Heather. Nice to see you. Oh, the asexual meetup picture. Yeah, it's really nice. I have to say, I'm so glad I've got asexual friends. And we do look really good together, don't we? That was the night before my birthday. So yeah, more time for asexual meetups now as well. I can have more, because the guy I was in a relationship with, he had like loads of stuff planned for us. Like, it was all over my calendar. And I said to my friends, I can't have a meetup next month because I'm seeing my boyfriend like so much. But now I could have, next month being this month, so I could see them again now. So you have to think of all the freedom you got and all the stuff that you can do again that you didn't do in a relationship. Frame it on your wall. Have I got space to put everything on my wall, Heather? That's the thing. I've actually got something for my best friend, remember? She gave me something for my Tinkerbell for my birthday, and I haven't even put that up yet. But yeah, it's really nice. I love having asexual friends. And it's really important when you split up with someone to, take comfort in your friends. They'll all have different opinions on things, obviously. They won't always agree with everything you say. And obviously some stuff you probably don't want to say everything, because obviously some of the stuff was between you and your ex. But it's just nice. Or sometimes all you want is a hug, like, I kind of like, there's one guy on ASAP who I haven't spoke to for a while, and I said that I was single again now. It didn't work out. And they put, sorry to hear that. I'd offer you a hug, but since I'm not there, I'll do the Japanese cat gesture instead to wish you luck. It's really sweet. Cute photos, actually. I told him so too. I said, you look cute in your photos. But yeah, it's nice, isn't it? When you've got asexual people like that, just, like giving you a virtual hug. It's nice, and I don't need to feel guilty or worried about going on this dating app straight away again, because he doesn't care. my ex. You know, he doesn't love me anymore, so it doesn't matter what I do. You know, it's not like I'm doing anything bad or feeling guilty or anything. I've just split up because he doesn't give a toss about me like that, you know, not in a romantic way. So do what I like, innit? It's just nice to be talking to people again on there, really, you know. And it's going to still be very difficult for me to find the right person for me, you know. In lots of ways I'm better off single, you know, because I have such a different lifestyle to most people. I'm not used to sharing a bed with anyone. That was really difficult. That was really hard for me because I can't really sleep much, you know. It's like I'm wide awake till like 3 or 4 in the morning and then needing sleep, and it's like, well, what am I meant to do for all that time, you know? And it's kind of like, you know, I did some dancing the other day, but it's kind of like I don't want to do too much of that because they're trying to sleep and it's not really fair to them in that way. But it's like, well, I need to do something because I need to relieve some energy. Do you know what I mean? So I think, you know, like getting over a relationship, you just have to think of all the positive things you've got back in your life now, like you've got potentially thousands of people you could be in and end up in a relationship with. You could end up in a relationship with someone who's like, you know, better for you in terms of personality, compatibility, looks, hobbies, interests, you know, like things that, you know, like I would prefer personally to have a guy in a relationship that didn't drink any alcohol, for example, you know, take care of his body in that way. But, you know, I do know that a lot of people do drink alcohol. So I'm kind of like, they don't have to not drink any alcohol, but I just my preference. But then I prefer a guy, you know, I probably prefer to be with a vegetarian as well. But you know, I'm not vegetarian, so you know, I can't do a smoker though, as you know. But you know, they're not really, you know, the deal breakers obviously sex, marriage, and kids. I don't want any. I don't want sex. I don't want marriage. And I don't want kids. So that's the deal breakers for me. But yeah, it's nice to just talk to people again on here. This other guy messaged me. He hasn't messaged me for a bit because I was in a relationship, so it's kind of nice. um yeah, so you got to just think of the positives, you know, that all the, you know, like if they've given you closure for a start, that's good. If they haven't given you closure, then you have to create closure for yourself, because you have to like think you ended it, it was no good for you in the end for whatever reason. You don't, if you don't understand what happened, then you just have to accept it. It's sad, but you have to accept that your intuition was right, because my intuition was spot on, you know, like he didn't say I don't love you anymore till today, and I already knew that about him from the way he was acting, and his attitude changed, behavior changed towards me. So I already knew that. But it's nice actually that he's confirmed that, because it's like my intuition's spot on. Do you know what I mean? And I don't have to think, oh, did I make a mistake, or did I end it too soon or whatever. It's like, no, you ended it as quickly as you needed to. Probably should have ended it quicker, but you know, so I think that's a really good thing. And you have to look at all, like I said, all the positive things, all the productive things, like plow yourself into productivity, you know, like creating things, doing things, building things, you know. Go back to self-dating, because it's really, if you haven't done that for a while, because it's really good for the soul, you know, like go and see friends, you know, have friends come and see you. Just go back to doing whatever you were doing before you met that person that's good and healthy for you, you know. And you know, there's no harm, you know, if that person's ended it, they definitely don't want to be with you. Don't feel bad or ashamed of, you know, like looking around again, because they've left you, you know, or didn't love you anymore, you know. But don't just jump into a relationship with someone else, because you're going to end up with the same problems again, and you'll be on the rebound as well, which is not a good idea. You know, like it'll probably take me a long time to actually be in a relationship ever, you know, again with a guy. You know, it was like the last time I was in a relationship, an asexual online relationship I had. What did I have? It was October 2017, I think it was. That was only for a month, and I didn't even meet the guy. You know, these aren't real relationships, are they? You know, a real relationship is the ones that last months and years. Do you know what I mean? I haven't had like a real proper relationship since 2011. You know, I mean, I dated a heterosexual guy last year for like one night, and then after a process of a week, I realised he didn't really care about me. So that was the end of that. I ended that, and I got a chest infection from him because he smoked. And there was a heterosexual guy I dated the previous year for 2 months, and he turned out to be a psycho. I'm doing well, aren't I? So yeah, just think of the people that you're no longer with that were no good for you. And just think that, the best thing to think is like that your ideal partner, the one who loves you and cares about you and cherishes you and wants to spend those precious moments of life with you and treasures you, the person that's going to do that isn't in your life yet, and you still got that to look forward to. So I think it's a very fine balance when you're getting over a relationship to focus on yourself again, focus on all the things you loved to do before you got into a relationship that you've got more time for now, increase your productivity again so you take your mind off things, and like don't go into another relationship on the rebound, because that's just ridiculous. You're going to end up with someone who's totally unsuitable for you and just have another problem. I used to do that years ago, but I'm not like that anymore. Just because I'm talking to guys, I already know that, they're not really suitable for me. Like the foreign guy, like, for example, he, like I said, about likes giving massages. So I said to him, do you like giving that to your friends or an exclusive relationship? He said, no, friends as well, but more an exclusive relationship. See, I'm not comfortable with that. I wouldn't be comfortable with a guy going around with his hands all over other women. I just don't think that's right. Some other asexuals may be fine with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he said he used to be a massager, which I understand in a job, but he's not doing that anymore. So, but he's a adult guy, nice to talk to him, knows business, spirituality. He loves dancing. He used to teach dancing. I love dancing. I got bronze for Star Disco. We've got stuff in common. So, and he actually said he could possibly move as well, but he's not really going to be my guy because I have different boundaries. And I think that's so important, that before you get into a relationship, or ideally as you get into one, that you discuss the expectations in the relationship, the standards in the relationship you have, the boundaries in the relationship you have. And I think you need to remember that going forward. I think when you split up with someone, you need to reflect and learn lessons from it, like the good lessons, what was great about the relationship and what could have been improved, or what you should have done at the beginning. Like, I guess, like, we should have said more about the expectations and standards and boundaries in the relationship going forward, because I've got very specific boundaries, and it's good to have standards. You should have standards in a relationship. Some people accept anything and then you get rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good to have standards and boundaries in a relationship. It's really, really important. And ideally you want a person to be in a relationship with that's got the same standards and boundaries as you. I spoke before on this channel about my best asexual guy friend. He is very boundary driven like me, so he hates nudity like I do, and he won't cuddle his friends. He'll hug his friend like me, who's known for a long time, say hello, goodbye, only because he's comfortable doing that. He won't even hug many of his friends, only selective friends. And then in a relationship, he's got those same boundaries as me, and that's kind of what you really want. Why are you retracting your message, Heather? I like your messages. Don't retract them. They're good. And so I think it's really important that you establish those boundaries and you maintain them and you maintain your standards. If you have to split up with someone because their standards and boundaries are completely different to yours, technical problems. Okay, sorry, Heather. So if you have to leave someone because they've got different boundaries and standards to you, it's not that they're right or you're wrong necessarily. It's just that they're not right for you. It's important to try and get into a relationship in the first place with someone who's got the same boundaries and standards as you. Then you're not going to feel like you can't trust them. You're not going to feel like you're going to be thinking that I can trust this person, and you're going to have a lot more confidence in the relationship. So yeah, just think and reflect about what went wrong, what was good, what was bad, what was indifferent, what could you do differently going forward, what have you learned from the situation, what's positive about it, and just think you've got your life back now. You've got your life back where you love yourself. If it was in a relationship where you weren't feeling good in the end, you weren't feeling good about yourself, about the relationship, you were feeling bad, life is too short and precious to continue that cycle and be in that relationship still. Yeah, you might love the person, care about them or whatever at the time, but it's not a good, healthy thing for you to be in. So you're out of that now. So you're in a beautiful space that's open to let other people into your life, to let the right partner for you come into your life, to let them treasure you and love you forever. And like, you cannot be in a relationship with the right guy if you're still in the relationship with the wrong guy or girl, or whatever gender it is. person. You know, you can't be in a relationship and the best person come to your life for you if you know that you're with the wrong person. So the sooner you end it with that wrong person, you know, the sooner you've got more chances, increased chances of finding the right person for you. Do you see what I mean? And so you have to be very thankful and grateful. You know, you had that experience. It's a learning curve. You have to think everything happens for a reason, good or bad. Maybe you helped them in their life, learn things they never knew, grew them for a bit, was really good to them. Maybe they gave you a different experience to what that you're used to, or gave the experience that you really wanted in your life at that time. So, you know, like you can look at things that you can take positively from the situation, but you also need to know about, you know, like, don't look at it so much as a loss. Look at it as a gaining back your self-respect, your life, your self-confidence, your self-esteem, gaining back, you know, that right to be absolutely cherished and adored by the right person that will come along and love you in your life. You know, you've got that back, you've got that hope, that dream, the chance and opportunity that when someone turns up and shows up in your life and consistently shows up in the way you need them to, that they will be able to treasure you forever. They will value the time they spend with you, knowing your time is so precious. They will love you, say they love you, and they won't change their mind. You know, they will stick with you. When you say you're upset about something, they will talk through it with you, and they will come to some sort of like way of helping you in the situation and your relationship together. And so, you know, sometimes we get into relationships with the wrong person for us. They felt right at the time, but we have to look forward now to getting into potentially a relationship with someone else that will be far better for us, much better matched, and that will make us feel feel good and special, like we are, you know. And you buy, you know, like if you've entered the relationship and given yourself closure, that's more power to you. It's empowering. It's like you took the control of the situation. Like a lot of people, they will stay in a situation where they're scared or they're unhappy because they're so fearful that if they leave and lose that person, I have nothing left. I don't have that fear because I had a beautiful life before this person came into my life. So now this person's going out of my life again, my life's still beautiful. It's especially beautiful now I've got the closure, actually. So I do thank them very much for giving me closure like that and saying they don't love me anymore. It's the best thing they could ever say to me. I mean, probably if they'd have said it before, it wouldn't have been the best thing in the sense I would have been shocked. But it's actually the best thing they've said to me now, because it's like, well, yeah, I don't need to worry about it anymore. It's all gone. Just give them their stuff back. And that's it. Period. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful. Thank you, Heather, so much for watching, and the other people that are watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, if you're enjoying the content at all. I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. I hope you've learnt some stuff from this video about how to move on, techniques to use, you know, being more productive, plowing all your you know, energy into hobbies and interests, talking to your friends for support, you know, being on dating sites and stuff if you can be on them. You know, obviously if you need a break from that, take a break from it first. You know, going out again, like, you know, like give yourself some time to get over the other person. Don't be on the rebound, because that's just really bad. And just, you know that you're self-sufficient unit. You don't have to like obviously be with someone, and get really back to like spending time with yourself again, and then really getting to know yourself again, and, you know, think of all the positives about being single, because it's amazing. Anyway, night, Heather. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're liking the content. I really appreciate that. And night, Heather. Take care. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. Embrace your craggy and each other's. Bye-bye.